When you're asked to compare two texts, what's your first instinct? To make a list? Similarities on one side, differences on the other? It's a common starting point, but it's also a trap. True comparative analysis isn't about listing features. It's about making two texts have a conversation with each other. The basic level of comparison just points out shared themes. Text A is about loss, text B is also about loss. It's an observation, not an analysis. A step up might be noticing they explore loss differently, one through character, the other through symbolism. That's better, but the crucial question is missing. So what? Why does that difference matter? This is where real analysis begins. It connects the how to the why. You don't just say the approaches are different. You explain that one text's psychological focus reflects its historical context, a time obsessed with the inner self. Meanwhile, the other's symbolic approach reflects its modernist context, a period of artistic experimentation. Suddenly, the difference isn't just a detail, it's a clue to how entire cultures make meaning. You're using context as an interpretive key. The ultimate goal is to analyze the conversation itself. The two texts, with their contrasting methods, are debating the best way to represent human experience. This dialogue reveals something profound, that our methods for telling stories are shaped by our time, yet the core human concerns, like loss, endure across those different methods. The comparison generates an insight that neither text could offer on its own, so don't write two separate essays and staple them together. Weave them from the very first sentence. Find the productive tensions. Ask why they diverge. The test of a great comparison is simple. Do you understand both texts better because you put them side by side? If the answer is yes, you're no longer just comparing, you're creating knowledge.